Today, we're talking about the habits you don't even realize you have and how they're either setting you up to win or quietly holding you back. If you want to perform better, feel more in control, and actually follow through with your goals, this episode is for you. By the end, you're going to walk away knowing how to train your brain to break those old habits and build new habits that actually match the life that you want.
Hello, and thank you for joining the Champion Within podcast, your premier go-to spot for unlocking your winning mindset. Whether you're an athlete looking to elevate your game to the next level, a coach leading the charge, an enthusiastic parent cheering from the sidelines, or an educator molding young minds, the Champion Within podcast episodes are packed with value, sharing the tools and strategies to unlock your potential and rise to new heights. Hosted by mentor, coach, and mindset leader Kate McCauley. Let's sit back and enjoy today's episode while discovering your champion within. And now, here's Kate.
Let's talk about March Madness. I got to tell you that my family, which includes me, everyone in my house, my husband, my kids, my brothers, their wives, all their children, nieces, nephews, everybody's in this bracket pool challenge. My mom, my dad, everyone. We've done this since my oldest, who is 20, was maybe in kindergarten or first grade. We started this as a family. We have a big gaudy trophy that someone wins after the championship. There's some stipulations that go along with this March Madness bracket. One of them being whoever the winner is within 24 hours, if the previous winner from last year, so it's my mom for 2025, if they don't turn it over to you in that 24 hours, exactly, you can go into their house, steal the trophy, and steal something that you love. It's madness. We're going back and forth on the text chain. It is truly madness in the family text, but I love it. I love seeing what my nieces are writing. One of my nephews is super into it. He even got off the bus the first weekend, that Thursday, Friday, and ran home to check his bracket. I just love it. And when we're talking about March Madness and all the craziness that happens with the games, there is truly madness. If you watch the recent Duke-UConn game, you watched it unfold at the end. In these games, there's high pressure, big moments, everything is on the line. People love to say, they just didn't show up in the second half. What happened? And that is not it. You don't magically become clutch in these moments. You are going to fall back on what you've trained for. Of course, the physical training is there, but if you haven't put in the mental side of your sport, you are at a disadvantage. Your habits, your reactions, your mindset under pressure in those moments in that Duke-UConn game, it was a reflection of the reps that nobody saw. Life actually gave me my own version of this. No, not March Madness. I am not hitting that shot from at the 3-point line. Not anymore, anyway. I was getting my wisdom teeth out this past Friday, and I literally planned it Friday afternoon so that I could have the weekend to recover from this. Of course, being a mom, busy sports mom, I was thinking of everyone else's schedule. I actually said, how long is this going to take? And they looked at me and laughed a little bit. They said, well, it's not impacted, so it should be in and out kind of situation here. Do you want to get sedated or Novocaine? I said, which one's quicker? And they were like, I guess just the Novocaine would be quicker and you don't have to come out of the sedation. So that's what I went with. And it sounded simple to me, right? In and out in a half hour. Of course, I knew there would be some recovery, but it's not as simple as I was planning it to be. I keep catching myself doing things that I'm not supposed to do. Reaching for a straw, for example, I can't believe how often I use a straw. And I'm not allowed to use a straw because of the teeth being removed. I always put granola in, yogurt and fruit. Can't have that granola, can't have the fruit, the seeds, all the things. I'm getting sick of the plain yogurt, the mashed potatoes, and the applesauce, by the way. I'm on day 3 as I record this. I'm really looking forward to getting back to normal. It hit me over the weekend when I was dealing with all this, when I'm planning what I'm going to eat for the wisdom teeth. Okay, what can I eat? What can I not eat? It's exactly how we live. We're not thinking, we're just repeating. We're just doing the things we've always done. When you try to change something, it feels hard, not because you can't change it. It's because your brain is trained to stay the same. I'm sure you've heard some sort of quote, something like this, but you really don't rise to your goals. You are going to fall to your habits. It is absolutely true. If you don't currently like your results, you don't need more motivation. You don't need some inspirational speech to come in and talk with your team or with your staff. Of course, the inspiring little stories are great, but really you need better training. You need to take action on a regular basis. Here's how you're going to start rewiring it. I need to jump in here. Coach, quick question. Do your athletes look amazing at practice? But when the game gets tight or you have a big competition, they panic, lose focus, fall apart, start talking negatively before they even compete, missed plays, bad body language, heads down. You know they have the talent, but pressure is winning. That's not a talent problem. That's a mental side of the sport problem. I run a team program called The Champion Within, where I train athletes using my CHAMP framework: confidence, habits, attitude, mental imagery, and purpose. I literally retrain their brains so they know how to stay calm, get focused, and compete like the champions they are. When the moments get big, they need to know how to regulate their nervous system. It needs to be automatic. The teams that win consistently, they train their minds, not just their bodies. Just go down to the show notes, click on the link, or send me a DM on Instagram with the word team, and I'll get you everything you need. Okay, let's get back to the podcast. I'm going to give you some tips. This is when you're probably going to stop, listen, put some notes in your phone, write it down, start doing these things for yourself, for your team, with your students. First thing I want you to try is I want you to train yourself to pause. Literally set a trigger. Every time you feel stress, pressure, frustration creep in, pause. I want you to practice this daily. The more you do this, the faster your brain is going to learn that we don't react automatically anymore. We are responding. The second thing I want you to try is to label it in some way. Name this pattern of whatever is happening. Your brain loves labels, and your brain also cannot change what it doesn't recognize as an issue. I want you to start calling it out. When you notice it, quite literally, I want you to say, that's me overthinking. Yep, there's my overthinking right there. That's me avoiding it. When you label it, you're weakening it. The third thing I want you to try is to replace something, not remove it. Your brain absolutely hates empty space. I don't want you to just stop a habit and think, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. I need you to replace it with something else. So instead of reacting right away and saying something when you're pissed off, I want you to pause and breathe, respond. That's why you're going to be practicing every time something feels stressful, something's frustrating, something causes anxiety, even when you're not with other people, you're just by yourself. Pause. So when you get to this replace, you've been doing the pause. Your body, your brain is used to this. When negative self-talk creeps in, because it is never going to disappear, I want you to find something that you can replace it with, like a factual thought, maybe something neutral. Repetition, continuously doing this equals rewiring. The next thing I want you to do is shrink this change down. When something feels really big, it's hard to stay with it. And big changes don't typically stick very easily. However, small little changes, they stack up and they are more likely to stick. You're more likely to keep going. I always tell people it's stacking up. It's stacking up. The habits are stacking 1% better. And I want you to be thinking about that. If you want to be more disciplined, start with one moment each day where you decide to choose differently. Stack those wins up. It's going to build proof, and that's going to help you stay with it. The next thing I want you to focus on is normalizing that this is uncomfortable. If you can normalize discomfort, this is actually where the work is being done. I know it feels awkward. And when that happens and it feels awkward, You need to be remembering that that is actually a rep that you're putting in. That is you doing the work. That's your brain building a new pathway. Yes, it's easier to not do the thing and not put the rep in. It's easier to react. If it feels uncomfortable, you're seeing growth. You're growing and changing, and that's what you want. This is exactly the work I do. I train athletes, teams, staff, high performers in all different types of industries to build habits on purpose, how to control their mindset under pressure and break the patterns that are holding them back. The results are they show up like the version of themselves that they know they can be. It's inside of them. Exactly why I call it the champion within. It is within you. We're talking about habits today. My framework, CHAMP, CHAMP. Letter H stands for habits. And if you're listening to this thinking right now, this is what I need, reach out to me. Let's do the work. That Duke game, it wasn't just about talent. Of course, they are really talented, excellent basketball players on both teams. That was about the habits under pressure. Your life is no different. Your team is no different. The way you show up when it matters most is already being practiced right now in small moments. Think about it. Think about the things you are doing or not doing. I want you to stop waiting for a big moment to try to make this change for a lot of reasons. You need to put the work in and train your brain, but it's not going to happen in that moment. That is not going to be what your brain automatically goes to. Even if you try to do it then, your brain, your body is going to be like, what is happening? We don't do this. You need to start training it today. If this hits home with you, subscribe to the podcast. I don't want you to miss what's coming next. Send this to somebody that needs to break the pattern. Share it with your team. Start using just one of those tools that I shared with you today. And if this made you think differently today, I would absolutely love it, appreciate it so much if you would leave a review on Apple Podcasts. This is how more people can start showing up like the version of themselves that they keep talking about that I know is inside of them. Thanks for hanging out today. I'm rooting for you always. Go stack those habits.
Thank you for hanging out with Kate today. And whether you're going to coach, teach, cheer from the sidelines, or hitting the field yourself, remember, mindset is everything. Don't forget to follow the show for the latest episodes, as we all need a little extra motivation, humor, and sanity in our busy lives. Now, go and unleash your champion within you, one step at a time. We're always rooting for you.